Welcome to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast, a relaxing and informative show where we explore anxiety, panic, and PTSD, sharing how you can overcome them for life.
Aloha! Welcome back to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. I want to tell you about Everlywell and their at-home lab tests. What if you could use science to discover more about your body all year long? Give yourself more clarity and better understand your health and wellness with Everlywell at-home lab tests. With over 30 tests, you'll be able to choose the ones that make the most sense for you. Food sensitivity, metabolism, sleep and stress, and thyroid are just a few of the many options. Here's how it works. Everlywell ships your at-home lab test straight to you. You mail it back to the certified lab with the prepaid label. Results and actionable insights are sent to your device in days, and you can share the results with your primary care physician to help guide your next steps. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell with their at-home lab testing. The test that I used for food sensitivities was spot on. You really want to check them out. And for listeners of the show, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/ACP. That's everlywell.com/ACP for 20% off your at-home lab test. everlywell.com/ACP. In today's episode, I'm talking about easy actions that you can use to jumpstart more peace and calm. These are things that you can do to jumpstart your peace and calm and reduce your stress, because when one goes up, the other goes down. This is how our nervous system works. Things keep changing both inside our bodies and outside in the world. And a key part of our overall nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, helps to keep us on an even keel with the things that are changing both inside our body and outside that is triggering us. So our autonomic nervous system does this through both the parasympathetic and the sympathetic branches that balance each other out, like the brake and the gas pedal of your car. Like I was saying, when one goes up, the other goes down. So what are these? I like to review these over and over so that you can know what's going on in your body and your mind when it is happening. The sympathetic part of your autonomic nervous system is the fight or flight that we always talk about. That's the sympathetic. Fight or flight. We know that feeling. It triggers a whole cascade of hormones, and it causes our thinking to change, which causes our body to change yet again. And then the other side of the autonomic nervous system is the parasympathetic side. This is the rest and digest side. This is what you want to have be your default, where you revert back to over and over again. Something comes up to kick up your sympathetic side of your nervous system, fight or flight. You take care of business, you register safety, and you default back to your parasympathetic rest and digest part of your nervous system. But what happens in our world, in our lives that we are living right now, we are not ever getting back to the rest and digest side. We are constantly bombarded with triggers and stress, and we are staying in fight or flight for a good part of our day. Ancient and primary, our resting state is settling, soothing, dampening, slow heart rate, handles exhaling. It lowers our stress hormones. It encourages digestion, relaxing our overactivated part of our nervous system, the freezing and the immobilization. That is what our parasympathetic nervous system does. It is an ancient and, like I said, primary part of us. So we are actually ignoring this or ignoring how to get back to it. It's there if we get out of the way. If we get our fight or flight out of the way, we can just relax back into the rest and digest. And again, that is our resting state. This is where we settle. This is where we feel soothed. This is where we have the slow heart rate. This is the exhalation. This is why I talk about extending and slowing your exhalation, because then you are actually using your body as if it were in parasympathetic state in order for it to go there, right? So we're kind of using our will, our own body, and forcing it to slow down so that it can remember the parasympathetic rest and digest side and relax back into it. And we can do that by exhaling longer and slower. When we have a lot of ease in our lives and we have low tension in both our mind and our body, we are promoting health and resilience and well-being. And what do you get for that? You can feel relaxed while also feeling alert and active and enthusiastic. This isn't a logy kind of state. To be relaxed and alert is where we can really thrive and be creative. And when we have that lower tension and higher sense of ease, we soften and we relax around threat and pain. I hope you can hear that. When we are lower in tension and higher in ease and relaxation, we soften and we relax around threat or pain. So this helps us to not have knee-jerk reaction to every little trigger that is outside of us or inside of us, meaning pain. It helps us to be more relaxed as a trait. This becomes our new default, our new thermostat setting, so to speak. This sympathetic side of us begins to lessen, and the parasympathetic, the rest and digest and relaxation, gets higher and higher. And when we have more ease and less tension, we can learn to return more rapidly to relaxation after excitement or after stress or after upset. The easy and actionable steps that you can take today to reduce your stress and jumpstart more peace and calm are coming up right after I thank today's sponsors. HelloFresh is with us today. HelloFresh delivers pre-portioned ingredients to your door, including farm-fresh produce that arrives within a week, so you get convenience without skipping on quality. You don't have to go to the grocery store and wait in the long line and park and deal with all of that after work if you don't want to. And also, you end up not wasting money on excess food because HelloFresh sends you the exact amount pre-portioned ingredients that you need to make these awesome meals. HelloFresh offers the flexibility that you need to easily customize your order online or in the app. Easily change your delivery date, your food preferences, your plan size, or skip a week whenever you need to. I love this flexibility, and I love the fact that they have awesome food preferences because we all eat so differently these days. HelloFresh offers 50 menu and market items to choose from every week, including veggie, fit and wholesome, family-friendly, and gourmet options, providing plenty of variety. Go to HelloFresh.com/ACP16 and use ACP16 code for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh.com/ACP16. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. And BetterHelp is with us today. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. You know, relationships take a lot of work, especially when the most important one that you can have in your life is one that you probably neglect, your relationship with yourself. A lot of us will drop anything to go help someone we care about. We'll go out of our way to treat other people well, but how often do we give ourselves the very same treatment? I have someone to speak with to help me keep my perspective and stay on keel in my life with both business and my personal life, and you can do this too. So this month, I want to tell you that BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you that you matter just as much as everyone else does, and therapy is a great way to make sure you show up for yourself. When we have the need to get a different perspective, we can't always go to our friends or our family, and that's why I highly recommend BetterHelp to find a therapist that is just right for you. I did, and you can do that too. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and the Anxiety Coaches podcast listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/ACP. That's BETTERHELP.com/ACP. So let's take a look at some easy actions to jumpstart your peace and calm. You know, relaxation and getting into our rest and digest side of our nervous system takes practice, especially because you may have been living your entire life out of a response to everything using your sympathetic side of your nervous system, the stress side. So you have to train yourself to come back. You can be relaxed without dulling your mind, lowering your guard, or slacking off. Actually, I guarantee you will be more productive and more creative as you become calmer. As you become able to live out of the side of your nervous system you were meant to live out of. This ancient and primary side, our parasympathetic rest and digest side of our nervous system, again, is where we can actually live a creative and productive life. So there are a lot of different methods that you can use, and we talk about many different methods here on different shows, but I want to kind of lump them all together here, as many as I can fit into our time here together, so that you can have something that just hits you today. You don't need to do all of these things. You don't need to do everything that we talk about here on the show, but I'm just hoping if we talk about enough different ways that something is going to give you an aha moment, and that you can just say, that is exactly what I'm going to try. That's what I'm going to work on. I believe that this is where I can stimulate my parasympathetic nervous system, where I can finally get back to rest and digest as your default. I don't want you to visit it just here and there, or after you have a nice massage, or a nice afternoon at the spa or something, or a good conversation. No, I want you to have it as your default. Remember what I said earlier. I want you to be able to return more rapidly to relaxation after excitement, stress, or upset. If somebody cuts you off in traffic, that's okay. It happens. You'll go into fight or flight mode, as you should, so that you could handle the situation quickly. And then after you realize you are safe and no one is running you off the road, you will automatically return back to your parasympathetic rest and digest side of your nervous system. I want this to become so automatic for you. You know, if somebody would have told me this back when I was really struggling with anxiety, I would not have believed that I could do that. But it's true. You end up handling things and just falling right back into what is your natural state, is your parasympathetic nervous system. So let's talk about some things that you can add to your life that will help you do this. Start with things like progressive relaxation. We have some shows on that, and it's a great way for you to be able to force yourself, so to speak, to relax. You pay attention and you consciously relax your body progressively, one piece at a time. You could do the body scan, and you can just go to anxietycoachespodcast.com and click on the body scan tab and get the 10-minute body scan that I recorded just for you guys. So try that. That's a great little place to start if you don't know what you want to try. You can look up all kinds of progressive relaxation and body scans on YouTube. You don't need to spend any money to do this. Just go look them up. Find one that you like, the voice or the background or whatever it is. And if you want to try mine, I would love to have you download it. Other things you can use are things like movement. Many of us don't want to sit still, and we have a little bit too much energy coming in. And maybe that's in the morning when your cortisol is high and you really don't feel like sitting for meditation, but you could do some yoga. You could do Tai Chi. You could do Qigong. Qigong is very easy to learn. I won't say Tai Chi is easy to learn, but it's beautiful if you spend the time to learn it. I've actually forgotten my 108 moves, but I think when someone is with me doing it, I fall back into it like muscle memory, and I can fall back into it and remember. But I do need someone to be with me. If I do it enough, I will be able to do it alone again. And I hope that you will try that. But Qigong exercises, all kinds of them on YouTube. Find somebody that you enjoy following and do the Qigong exercises. They will really help you to relax and feel invigorated at the same time. You can do deep breathing. You could do pranayama, yogic breath work. This is a great way, once you are comfortable enough with your breathing and you want to move on to something like that, it would be wonderful. If you're just starting out, don't bother with breathing exercises. Do something like physical, like any kind of rhythmic exercise, like walking or running. We can do the more quiet side of things too. We can do meditation. This is wonderful for calming our nervous system, but we need to do it over and over again so that it isn't like a surprise to the mind and body. What are you doing? Why are you just sitting here and all the thoughts are running wild? Well, you will learn how to tame those thoughts, how to bring your mind back to your mantra or your breath or your mala bead, whatever you have chosen. Again, we have podcast episodes on these different ideas. You could try prayer, and by prayer, I mean receptive prayer, where you are not doing worry prayer, asking for fixing this and that, but actually receptive to the power that is higher than ourselves, to actually want to receive the peace and the calm that can come from that kind of opening up. We can do singing. Singing is a great way to change up not only your nervous system, but your breathing pattern, which also will change up your nervous system. So it changes your breathing, it changes your nervous system. Sing songs that really touch your heart and soul, and really let that be a part of your relaxation process. Chanting can help there too. Again, many things on YouTube for you to research and see what kind of chanting you like. There's so many different kinds. And finally, on that meditation kind of side of things, silence. Silence will calm our nervous system, or the paying attention to the sounds in our environment and hearing what is around us and how that can be soothing to our soul just because it's there and we don't have to do anything about it. We can just observe that we are hearing it. And the rest of it is silence, because truly the silence is inside. Our environment is probably always going to be feeding us some sort of a sound, but the silence inside, just be with it. You could try biofeedback. You could try adding calming sounds like, again, boy, I feel like I should be doing an ad here for YouTube. By going to YouTube or searching on Google, whatever you do, for calming sounds, sounds of water, sounds of nature, birds, or finding music that soothes your soul and playing that in the background of your day so that you can have a breath here and there and listen to that calming music that is playing in the background. There are also things that we can take that are helpful. We could use ashwagandha, one of my favorites, for stress. You could use CBD, and you know we talk about that here quite often. You could be out in nature. Forest bathing had its moment in time, and being out in nature is timeless. This is what we are meant to be relating to, the bigger world around us. So, all in all, I want you to remember to exhale longer than inhaling. Use some kind of progressive relaxation. Just slow your breath if you can. It will change things. I want you to be able to remain relaxed and alert. And as a super quick fix, we want to pay attention to our lips. Our lips have parasympathetic fibers throughout them. So touching your lips activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest side of your nervous system. So just take one or two of your fingers and run them lightly over your lips. You will be stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system. Give it a try. It works. There are some other episodes that we have on this whole subject, so you may want to check out episode 740, Getting Beyond Anxiety, or episode 525, Calm Anxiety by Building Adaptability, and episode 475, Letting Your Body Turn Down the Stress. I think those will all be helpful for you. I love being here with you, and I hope that the rest of your day is peaceful and calm. And now for today's quote. Silence is the element in which great things fashion themselves together. And that's from Thomas Carlyle. I'll be back in a few more days with another podcast. Until then, be well and aloha.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. Find more information at theanxietycoachespodcast.com.